Okay, today we're gonna make hard seltzer for half the price of White Claw. First thing we gotta do, have a taste. Mango. Woohoo! Tastes like fizzy water with a little bit of flavoring in it. Barely sweet, gluten-free. I mean, it's good, but I think we can do just as good for half the price. Let's get started.
Let's see if we can make White Claw for half price. Buy a big bottle of cheap vodka. You're not gonna taste it anyway, so get the cheap stuff. Store it in the freezer so that your drink stays nice and fizzy. Buy a 2-liter bottle of club soda, or make your own if you own a SodaStream. Again, the colder the better. Get whatever flavor of squirty water enhancer you like. There are literally tons of them on the market right now. You could stop there, but I find it a lot better with some lemon or lime, just to give it a zesty bite. Use real ones if you're feeling fancy. Pour out about 250 milliliters or just over 1 cup of soda water. Pour that into a glass to make a drink to enjoy right now. To make the 2-liter pop bottle 5% alcohol, you need to use 250 milliliters of 40% vodka. But unlike buying the White Claw, you get to adjust the alcohol to what you prefer. A good squirt of water enhancer and a couple good squirts of lemon or lime, and you're good to go. If you want to keep everything fresh and fizzy, you could use a pop cap kit and serve it in style.
All right, let's take a closer look at the components here. With some of these, like this Tempo one here, it's gin mixed with soda water and a little bit of flavoring. So that's basically exactly what we did right here, except we use vodka. Right here, we've got White Claw. Now let's talk about White Claw for a little bit. White Claw is not this. It's actually fermented to the level of beer. So you would take a bunch of sugar and probably turbo yeast, ferment that off, and you bring it up to 5% alcohol, and then I'm sure they filter. So what that does is it allows them to be taxed as if they were making beer, which is a different tax bracket than making vodka. So great business model. Now there are breweries out there making hard seltzer with specific yeast strains to get a flavor profile, and they're using actual fruit, and you know, those are gonna cost quite a bit more. So you can make a hard seltzer to the quality of like an IPA and with the variants and everything, but this ain't that. This is mass produced. So let's look at the cost of this. Let's see how it breaks down. In my local liquor store on the corner here in Canada, it cost me $16.50 to buy a 6-pack of these. So that breaks down to $2.75 a can. Now let's look at doing it the other way. If we take our cheap vodka, and you know, it's up to you to find vodka as cheap as you can. I imagine if you bought, you know, this is the old plastic bottle. When you go into liquor stores, you look right down on the bottom there, and whatever is there for sub $20, you're good to go. In my research, people really love Tito's if you want to make a fancier version. So where that puts us, depending on how cheap your vodka, it's $20 bottle or whatever, it's gonna put you at about $1 worth of vodka for the same amount of alcohol that's in this can. And remember, you want to keep this cold as possible. Store it in the freezer. It's not gonna freeze on you, it's alcohol. And that'll keep your carbonation levels as high as possible when you're putting it in there. Okay, let's talk about the soda. Here in Canada, you can get Canada Dry. It costs about $1 a bottle. And it comes to about 15 cents worth of soda water that you're consuming to equal your can. So we've got $1 for the vodka, 15 cents for the soda water. Whoa! Another option is to use a SodaStream bottle. A lot of people have these. You can get these anywhere, Canadian Tire, Walmart, blah, blah, blah. I mean, let's do it. So when it gets to this point, this is when you're starting to get it really fizzy. You're also wasting a lot of extra CO2. So if you wanted to reduce that 15 cents down a little bit, you might be closer to 10 or 12 with the SodaStream. Not much of a savings really, but you get to control the fizziness then. Now, if you're crazy like me, you would replace this bottle with one of these. Now you're getting CO2 really cheap, and I got a whole video about that. So I've got this slightly modified older SodaStream that can go directly onto a tank like this. And if you make soda water this way, it's basically free. But you've got the price of the hose and the tank, so this is only worth it to people who also carbonate beer and serve a lot of beer. I wouldn't buy this just for carbonated. Well, some people might though. If you drink enough carbonated water, this might be your way to go. Okay, let's talk about the flavor. So you got $2.75 for that. So far with the vodka and the soda water, we're just over $1, so you've got a lot of room for flavoring before you hit that kind of price point. And it's gonna be a lot better flavors you can add onto there. Lime juice is very, very cheap. So is sugar. So if you just use lime juice and sugar, I bet you already it's gonna taste better than this. So personally, I think I'd probably go with a real actual lime to give that nice zesty bite and to accent the carbonation, and I'd probably use the lime cordial. Yeah, they got a gimlet on here. But you could just go get your own natural cane sugar and just limes, but then you almost got a Tom Collins, especially, well, obviously if you use gin, it's a Tom Collins. No, Tom Collins uses lemons. What's a lime worth? All right, I looked it up. A lime costs about 50 cents, so that's not a cheaper way to go. I would go with this and this then. Probably you can buy a bag of limes and get them for $1. Now my research for doing this, I was shocked to discover that water enhancers are all the rage. Jelly Belly even has a water enhancer. So yeah, as long as you did your flavoring around 25, 30 cents, you're still at the half price mark as per the title of this video. But let's say we wanna make it taste even better than that. Well then personally, I would probably use gin instead of vodka, just because it's got that nice, well, gin flavor. And go out and get yourself one of these fancy cocktail mixes. Cherry Peach Lime is this one, but up on the shelf they had ones with habaneros but yeah, this bottle I think was close to $20. If you really want to get that flavor profile, yeah, I'd say a little bit of gin, a little bit of this, and the soda water, and serve it with the tap. So now we're in that fuzzy area where you're almost making a cocktail rather than just having a hard seltzer, because you start using gin and a cocktail mix, or maybe fresh lemons and some sugar. Maybe toss in a little bit of limoncello, and then you're making a fancy Tom Collins. So we're gonna do that next time. We're gonna do a whole series of videos showing how to do batch cocktails. This one was 2 liters. We're gonna do 5 liters and even 10 liters. Depending on the event you go to, you're going out to the beach, maybe you wanna serve 30, 40 people your special margarita mix or whatever. So, I mean, imagine having this down in the cooler with the ice. You've got your serving glass, you just scoop up the ice, and then you're Mr. Fancy Pants out on your golf cart or on your boat or on the beach or out skiing, whatever you want to do. Some of the ones we got planned, like I said, the Tom Collins. We're gonna do a margarita, a Negroni. These are Bloody Mary. I think we're gonna try a mudslide, serving milk with CO2, but who knows, that might be good. So we're gonna save that for next time, and remember, we're making it easy so that you can keg.